and welcome to Dragon Scale Hobbies. We are playing more Massive Darkness today. Last time we played the tutorial mission and collected a bunch of loot and some experience, and now we are going to play the first mission, the first actual mission that is, called Scorched Earth. But first, because we are playing a campaign, we have what is known as the Town Hall phase, which means we draw a bunch of loot cards which are equal to different levels of our heroes. All of our heroes are level 1s, so we only draw level 1 cards. And how this works is you take the loot that you collected in the dungeon and you can swap it for equal levels of treasure cards at Town Hall. So level 1 will cost you 1 level 1 treasure that you collected, but if you want a level 2, it will cost you 2 level 1 cards that you collected previously, and so on. So we are going to take a look at what we have at Town Hall now, and we'll be right back. We've flipped up the Town Hall cards, and we are going to choose the cards that we want to use, or just to take for the next mission. Each hero can carry 6 loot cards and 1 artifact card into every mission. So if there's stuff I have that I don't want anymore, I don't see the point in keeping it around. And I can pick up lots of other stuff that we may need throughout the battles and might be worth a little, well, it's all worth the same because it's all worth 1. So let's choose what we want. We have in the upper left-hand corner a Wand of Healing. I think I want that. So I will pay 1 level 1 treasure and take that. And then we have a wooden ring, which gives, during defense, you automatically get a BAM. I like that. I'll take that. Starting equipment to the side. I don't think it counts as anything. The fire sword I like, so I'm going to take that. Armor of Life. It heals 1 on a BAM during defense. I like that. I'll take that. Let's see. Short sword, don't want. Gnomish gold, possibly. So yeah, I'll take the Gnomish gold just because it's worth more on a transmute. And I will take the chainmail armor. Scepter of Hate, I don't really want it. Battle axes, don't really want them. Plate armor, I do want. So, take the plate, my level 1 treasure. Now I have a level 2 treasure. So, I think I will just take 2 lesser healing potions and give up my level 2 treasure. Okay, so that is our Town Hall phase. We will equip what we want to our heroes, and we will start the mission. Here we have Elias. We gave him chainmail armor and a Wand of Healing. Here we have Silence. We gave him a dagger of Sure Strike and just a regular dagger for dual wielding, and he still has his starting leather armor. Siegfried, we gave him the fire sword, and he has his spiked shield, some chainmail armor, and a wooden ring. So whenever Siegfried defends, he is automatically going to wound an enemy. Which Zoe, with plate armor and Orb of Courage. Little Ned with a short sword. Wait a minute. Little Ned with a great sword and plate armor. And finally, Sylvan, with a javelin, which he can use at range or in close combat. A dwarven shield, which allows him to carry a two-handed weapon and a shield. And he has Armor of Life, which offers healing effects. Here's an overview of the map that we're going to be going through. So we have a tile with two doors where the heroes start, and either a lair or an artifact. So let's go through the objectives of this mission first. So you need to collect 3 artifacts, which are one of the flipped over larger tokens, and then you need to make it all the way to the exit with all 3 artifacts in order to win. There is a lair, which is considered a dead end. There are 4 tiles, 2 bridges, and a whole bunch of doors that we have to go through. There's level 1, 2, 3, and 4 sections, so it's going to get pretty intense by the end of it. And all of our guys are outfitted. Nobody has any experience points spent yet, because last time we found out that you needed 5 experience points in order to get even the most basic of skills. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to get right on to it. I think I rambled enough. We're going to do a little tidy up of the town hall and stuff, and we're going to start. I think we're going to have Elias as the first turn. Turn 1, Elias. First, he is going to do a movement action, and he is going to come to here with his 2 movement points. And then he's going to start a second move by kicking open this door. No, I have sound effects for that. I shouldn't have done that. And we're going to draw a door card. So in the first zone, no enemies. Second zone, spawn a guard card. In the active hero zone. Okay. And you get a special chest. And then in the third zone, spawn a guard card and 2 chests. The guards, we drew a dwarf warrior, and the rule for that one was it spawns on the active heroes tile. And I'm a little bit confused about something. They drew a magic charm, which doesn't go under any category, but it's a special item. Once per activation, roll 1 yellow, deal the number of wounds to an enemy in the line of sight, range 0 to 2, and that was on the dwarves. And then the goblins got Charm of Protection. Defense may reroll 1 of the attack dice 1 additional time. So I'm not sure if guards are allowed to use items like that. I couldn't really find that in the rulebook. I'm sure it is, and I just overlooked it. But I'm going to let them use it just for a little extra fun. So that was 1.5 activations for Elias. So now he's surrounded. He doesn't really have much of a choice but to attack, which he can't because he's only carrying a magic weapon, and they're 0 to 2, I think. I quickly looked up whether Elias can move out of his zone, and he cannot. He cannot fire his weapon because it's range 1 to 2. Also, guards cannot use items or consumables that they are holding. I found that in the rules. So, for Elias's last activation, I will use his zap because it doesn't have a strike back, and they do not get a defense. So roll his zap. He gets 2 and a bam. He doesn't do anything on a bam on a zap, so he kills one dwarf because they each have 2 health. Okay, that is Elias's first. Now we are going to move on to Silence. So he is going to move into the same zone as the dwarves, and then he is going to attack. So he gets 2 yellow, and the dwarves each have 1 blue. So 2 yellows and 1 blue. I have to grab my dice. Woohoo! Okay, so they got 2 shields and a bam. He got 4 swords and 2 bams, and he is in shadow mode, so he gets another damage for his dagger. Yep. And they get -1 shield if he's in the same zone with them. So they take 5, 6. So it's 4, 5, -1. So that's 4 damage. That kills 2 dwarves. And he gets 2 micro experience, which gives him 1 full experience, and Elias gets 1 micro experience for his zap attack. And now he is going to attack again for his final action. So 2 swords. They do not get their shield because he is in the same zone, and that's his special ability. And he gets +1, so he does 3 damage. So he kills a dwarf, and he does 1 damage to another one. And that's Silence's turn. And he gets another micro experience for killing another dwarf. Now it is Siegfried's turn. He is going to do the exact same thing. Oh wait, sorry. I forgot to strike back at Silence with the dwarves. So he gets 2, they get 2 counters to him. So they get 2 yellows and he gets 1 blue. He takes 1 damage. And they counter him once more. And he defends that perfectly. Okay, so now it's Siegfried's turn. He moves into the same zone as the dwarves, and he is going to attack. He has his fire sword, so he gets a red. And anything special, he gets +1 attack in shadow mode. They are in shadow, so just +1 sword. And revenge, so when he gets hit. So he rolls a red, they roll a blue. So he got 3 swords and a diamond, so he did 4 damage in total. -1, so 3 damage, obviously. And we kill 2 more dwarves, because one of them had a wound on them already. So he gets 2 experience. and they strike back. And what is his armor right now? It's a blue. And on a BAM, he gets +1 defense, and his shield on a BAM, he gets to wound somebody. And he has a wooden ring, which automatically gives him a BAM. So he gets +1 defense automatically, I believe, and he gets to inflict a wound. So, no damage, and he inflicts a wound. Okay. And then he is going to use his second action to attack again. And they did not defend anything, and he got 2 swords and a BAM, which kills the boss. Gives him... A boss counts for 3 experience for everybody, so 1, 2, 3. Three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and he gets there. Mage's Charm, which is once per activation, roll 1 yellow dice, deal wounds equal to the number of swords. So it's just like Elias's Zap. Okay, and they are discarded. And that is going to be Siegfried's turn. Now it is Zoe's turn. She is going to move 1, 2 for her first, 3, pick up a chest for her second, and so draw a treasure card. She picked up a tainted chest with an acid cloud, take 1 wound, and draw a treasure card. So she takes a wound and draws a proper treasure card. Lesser potion of healing, so that's okay. Nothing too fantastic. And she is going to move again. No, actually, because she has a ranged weapon. She has a magic weapon, which is 1 to 2, so she is going to attack the horde of goblins at the end of the hall with 2 yellow versus their 2 blue. And the special ability she gets from that is an automatic sword. So 2 yellow, 2 blue. So they got 1 defense, she got 1 sword. And do they reroll anything? Does she reroll anything? Nope. So she does 1 damage to them because she has that special orb. So that's 1 goblin dead. So she gets an experience point for that. And I think that, yes, that is her turn. Now we move on to Sylvan. So he is going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, pick up a chest, see what he gets. Lesser healing potion, that's fine. And then he is going to use his javelin to attack the goblins. So he has one red or 2 red? 1 red against their 2 blue. And he doesn't have shadow mode ability or anything right now. So they got 2 defense and he got nothing. And that is his turn. And finally we have Little Ned. He is going to move to here, pick up the final chest in that zone, draw the treasure card, place a potion of healing. I might want to shuffle these, but I think it's fine for now. And then he is going to move once more and pick up the level 2 chest. And he gets a battle staff, which gives 1 yellow and 1 red in the magic zone. Attack on a BAM, plus 1 wound. Attack BAM, the hero may heal 1. It's quite good, but he can't use it yet because nobody is level 2 and the dungeon is not at level 2 yet. So that is his turn. And now it is the enemy phase. For the enemy phase, the Goblin Warriors will move 1 zone over to here. And they will attack Little Ned because he's in their zone now. So they get 2 yellow. He gets 1 blue and plus 1 defense. So that is not bad. He may still take some damage, but that is okay. Nope. They do not damage him. Okay, so now it's experience phase. I still do not have enough experience to spend on anything. Or do I? No, nobody has over 5 full experience points yet. Okay, so now it is the event phase, so we draw an event card. Let's see. Shadow Blessing. Heroes in shadow zones may heal 1. So the only person who took a damage was Zoe from her acidic chest, and she is not in a shadow zone, so she cannot heal. Everybody else is still at full health. Now we move on to player phase number 2. We pass on the token to Silence, so now he is the first to go. He is going to move 1, 2 into the Goblin Zone, and then he is going to stick them with his daggers. So he has 2 yellow, and I have 2 blue. So a sword and a shield, and he may reroll blanks on his attack, and still a blank. So that does nothing. And he will... Oh, and they get -1 defense if he's in the same zone with them, which he is. So he kills one. Because he had a sword, they had a defense. It evens out. Well, this shield gets cancelled out by his ability. So he goes up 1 micro experience. And then he is going to attack again for his final activation. And he got 2 swords, they got 2 shields. He cancels out 1 shield. Kills a goblin. Oh, sorry, they should have... Anyways, he kills a goblin. Goes up 1 experience point. And then I'll do the 2 strike backs that they owe him. So he has 1 blue, they have 2 yellow. He takes, it looks like 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And then they get to strike 1 more time. That's 2 yellows. And he gets a shield, they get a sword, so nothing happens. Whew, that was a close one for Silence. Now we move on to Siegfried's turn. He is going to move 1, 2 into the Goblin Zone, and then he is going to attack. So, his red, and there are 2 blues. They got lots of defense. Now they strike back. He has 1 blue, and they have 2 yellows. So he automatically gets BAM on both his armor and his shield. So he negates 1 damage. He does 1 damage for getting a BAM. So he goes up an experience point, but he still takes a wound, which activates his special skill, which is Revenge. So whenever he takes a damage, he also deals a wound. So he goes up another experience point. And he gets to attack 1 more time, and then they'll strike him back if there's anybody left. So he got, no, they completely defended that. And then they will strike him back. So they got 2 swords. Once again, he kills a goblin because he got a BAM. With his shield, he cancels out 1 sword. He takes 1 damage, and then kills the last goblin with his special skill. So everybody goes up 1, 2, 3 for killing a boss. 1, 2, 3. I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if he necessarily gets, if the BAM affects both his abilities, but I'm just going to call it that for now, just for the fun of it. I'm sure I'll come back in the next game having read the rules more thoroughly and find, oh, he doesn't. Which is kind of what I feel like what will happen. Okay, everybody's been given their boss killing experience. And that is Siegfried's turn. So now we move on to Silas. So he goes 1, 2 into this zone. For his next move thing, he's going to activate that. It's the lair. If you draw the lair instead of an artifact, it's considered a dead end, but you still get 5 micro experience just for that 1 hero. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for his last activation, he's going to pick up the 2 chests. So the first chest has a skirmish bow, which is 2 yellow, attack +1 yellow dice on a BAM. And his second is a short sword, which is just a yellow 1. So he's just going to stuff those in his inventory, and we'll continue. So now second last hero in the second hero phase is Little Ned. He's going to move 1, 2, 3, open this door, and we are going to draw a door card. So behind door number 2, there is no enemy in the first zone. Spawn 3 chests. In the second zone, spawn a guard card and 3 chests. And in the third zone, so I don't know how that would work if there isn't a third zone, you draw 2 chests. So I'm just going to ignore the third zone because that's only a 2-room zone. So we're going to draw a guard card. We got Dwarf Warriors, and they also drew for their loot a Javelin of Sure Strike, which does not help them out because they do not have a ranged weapon profile. Okay, so let's get those guys set up and